Okay, y'all. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Hey, y'all.
It's in rough shape, but can you fix it?
Hey, y'all. Okay, yeah. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Y'all, we have got some things to get into. So I'm gonna give y'all a minute to get up in here, and we gonna talk. We gonna talk. We gonna talk about this interview that Ashley did with AD. Horrible. Horrible. At one point, I was low key feeling sad for Ashley because we all women and we know what it feels like to get played and scammed by a man. And then the interview went left. Ashley, you need to come down off that high horse, okay? We got to talk, y'all. So get in here, 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 okay? I need y'all to come in, sit down, drop me some yellow hearts on your way in. Let me know you are here. What is going on? What's today, y'all? Thursday is the. Let me. I had to make sure I fixed my hair, right? Because I don't want to be a part of the unblendables. I okay, I don't want nobody calling me Mrs. Leave Out. So I had to make sure that I slicked it down real good, add a little oil sheen, use a wax stick or whatnot. Because baby, what I don't want to be a part of is the unblendables. When I tell you, I jumped on Jessie Woo's live last night and said, oh Lord, no, now she's snatching them by the edges. The edges okay? She was arrogant and she didn't listen to any advice at all, at all, at all, at all. Y'all, I was like, do I need to do something to my hair? Absolutely. Because this is not the live. With my hair that needs to be undone. Because what we not about to do is call me a part of the unblendables, okay? Just two birds talking, right? Two girls saying exactly, 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 exactly to each other. I woke up, I was like, oh, let me go see. Y'all know I need some content too, right? Because we do things for clicks and views because like, why not? Because like, why not? Nobody's getting up on the internet for nobody to see their stuff. Like, let's be real. Nobody's making videos and going live for nobody to see their stuff. So yes, yes, yeah, we need the content today. Today's the day. Thank you for providing the content. We hearing it. We in it now, okay? The right. Wow. Yo, what? Listen, when I saw the interview was coming out, I thought, because remember, Ashley got on TikTok and was like, let me tell you something. If we do get divorced and we do break up, I will come to the internet and tell y'all everything. But then she got up there and told us absolutely nothing. You know what she told us? The same thing that Ricky, Simone, and Jessie Woo told us. How about that? How about that? She got up there and told us the same exact thing that they told us. So, girl, what was the point of this interview? Because I thought you was going to come up here and air it out. But you want to know why I feel like she didn't air it out? She didn't air it out because she was in on some of this ish. Ashley don't give a F about them kids to this very single day, okay? If I'm being completely honest with you, she left that man because she realized, one, he didn't have no money. His jobs wasn't consistent, just like Jessie Woo, Ricky, and Simone said, correct? She also left that man, child, listen. Then she left that man because she realized, hear me and hear me good, that once she wasn't going to be able to profit off of her and Tyler's relationship, okay? She realized that the relationship did not serve her. Because when Love is Blind aired and she was getting all the love from everybody, correct? She was over there and made it TikTok like, yeah, when everybody love your couple. She thought that they was going to be able to go and get some brand deals. She thought they was going to be like, what's the Tiffany and Brent? That's the couple? She thought she was going to be able to profit off of this experience. And once she realized that, oh no, I'm not going to be able to profit off of this. Not only that, this man ain't got no job or no money, and he got children that he lied about. She was looking for a way out because if Ashley really wanted out of this marriage, because of them kids, she would have been left this marriage because of them kids. Not because, oh, I finally just decided to go do my own research. Bullish. The research was already done. The receipts were out there. Simone Redwine. Girl, is that legal? A whole lawyer did a background check on that man. Miss me. Please miss me with the I had to go do my own research when the research was done for you, Ashley. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. So, Ashley got on the internet. Well, Ashley was at the reunion. Okay? And remember, she told us
has better insight on what's going on social media or me. So for people to imply that like she was blindsided, she didn't know is like insulting to my intelligence. Who do you think has better insight on what's going on social media or me? So for people to imply that like she was blindsided, she didn't know is like insulting to my intelligence. That's number one. Number two, for the record, this is something he never wanted to share on camera. I just didn't feel like it would be an authentic experience or that I could continue the experience if we did it. Who do you think has better insight on what's going on social media or me? So for people to imply that like she was blindsided, she didn't know is like insult.
Ashley, you sat up there on that reunion and you sat there and said, who do you think has more information, me or the internet? When the internet had all the freaking information out there. So when you sat in this interview and talked to AD about how you didn't even know any of this stuff that come out to after the reunion, BS, BS, BS. You got up at that reunion and you said what you said with your whole entire chest. So don't sit there on this podcast and act like if I would have known the things that I had known when I got with him, I would have left. Bullshit. BS. I call BS. Okay. So let's get into this review. We're gonna tap into some stuff. So get comfortable for a little bit, all right? So Ashley said, let me move y'all comments over so I can see y'all comments. Okay. Let me move y'all over. Let me go back to my default screen. All right. So Ashley said that she came on this interview so she could speak. Ashley said she came on this interview because if she could speak boldly for a man, then she can speak boldly for herself. But you want to know something? Not one time did she speak up for herself. She still sat up there and protected that man, okay? She said she's here to speak to her character. Her character of what? What character are you speaking to?
Right? Come on. So they're like, oh, you don't get to do that. You stood by a deadbeat and did. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's on me. Yeah.
That's the character you speaking to? The fact that you stood by a deadbeat and did. The and did was even like, and did. And I do it again. That's the energy the and did gave. It gave, I do it again. I do it again. And what about it? That's on me. No remorse. No apologies. And the apology she did give was, let me blend, y'all. I'm not about to be a part of the unblendables. Okay? Like, no. You sat there and was like, and did, and that's on me. Girl, what? So, let me, child, these people really got on my nerve for this interview, okay? AD asked her about marriage, okay? And, what is something she's going to miss about marriage? And this is how I know that this woman wasn't really in the marriage to be in the marriage, okay? She said that if she had to speak to one thing that she missed about being married, it was about being part of a secret wives club. Y'all, I've been married for almost 8 years. Where's the club at so I can join it? Where's the secret wives club? This is how I know that Tyler never treated that woman right in that relationship at all, because any woman that has been married to someone, at some point, right, they'll say, I miss the companionship, correct? I miss sleeping next to somebody at nighttime. I miss being able to call this person and give them good news. This is how I know that that man have never treated you right. You only cared about carrying the title, and with your own mouth you said it's because people look at you different. So you was willing to stick around just to have the title of a wife. You missed the status. Right, Kiara, right, okay? So she's in therapy right now. She's in therapy working on forgiving herself. So I guess...
Right? Come on. So they're like, oh, you don't get to do that. You stood by a deadbeat and did. Yeah. Damn. Yeah. That's on me. Yeah.
That must be what she going to therapy for. She trying to understand what made her stand by a deadbeat so she could forgive herself. Okay, so they start talking about Love is Blind and how everything that came out impacted their marriage. Okay, and she said that it impacted their marriage almost immediately. She started questioning the man she was laying next to, and I'm sitting here like, so you mean when all this stuff came out at the reunion, you started questioning the man you was laying next to? But you was on the internet actively doing podcasts and interviews discussing how much you love this man. Hold on.
Who do you think the bomb of him having children? I will say she wrote me on Instagram and apologized to me and Tyler and said she's praying for us and she didn't never meant for it to go this way and she's sure my world is crazy right now. She never intentionally meant to cause me any pain. Like she won't say too much in this message, but yeah.
So before he went in and filmed Love is Blind, he had...
But I thought that if you would have known all the things that you knew, you would have left him. Right? You would have not been with him, right? You then got on this podcast after the reunion and spoke about his children and how if they want to see him when they turn 18, that's something you thought about and it is what it is, right? But no, let's keep going.
If these children decide that they want to have a relationship with their biological father, have you guys talked about what conversations or what you guys will do about that?
Yeah, so even during filming, I think I say something along the lines of like, I had to figure out
I got one better for you.
Tyler is just someone who's just a genuinely good guy. He's a people pleaser. He is someone who, if he is exhausted and has nothing to pour into someone, he still will. He still will, and it's not a good thing, but it's just who he is. And so I just think he's a good guy who was in too deep, and didn't know what to do next. And that's why when I came to the reunion, I just felt like, let's shut this stuff down. And I know how it looks. I know you see the pictures, and I know you see the dad t-shirts, and I know, we're not lying about any of how it happened. It's just...
So you mean to tell me that after you knew all of this, you went and got on podcasts and did interviews when you said in this video that it impacted your marriage immediately, and you started to question the person that you was laying next to, and then you turned around and got on a podcast and said how this man is just so wonderful, he's everything, he'll give you the shirt off his back, he gonna pour life into you. The man that you was married to, when you said the only thing you're gonna miss about being married is the status, not even the companionship. Girl, miss me with this, Ashley. And the thing is, none of us was going hard on Ashley. We were going hard on Lila. Okay, I changed the name up. We were going hard on Lila because we were like, no, this not right. He playing in her face. Oh my God, I can't wait for Ashley to wake up and da-da-da-da-da. But then Ashley got on the internet and told us to mind our mother effing business because who knows more about what she going through than her? Did she not just say that? Okay. So and then she got up there and talking about those kids. We were on your side. We were rooting for you. We were all rooting for you. You want to know why? Because all of us has been this woman one time or another where men have played in our face, love bombed us, made us seem like they were someone they wasn't, and all types of stuff. We've been through that before. So we knew what you was going through. But when you, after the reunion, got all this information, you got on the internet and told us to mind our business. Some of you never been married before, and it shows. So now you come up here and you want us to give you sympathy But then you don't even take full accountability for what you did. Not only to Bri, but to those children. And it's somehow the internet's fault. It's somehow Jessie Woo's fault. It's somehow Ricky's fault. Interesting. Very much so. Interesting. Okay? She said she felt like she was being dogged on behalf of him. No, you were not. You were being dogged for how you handled those children. Nobody was even mad at you, Ashley, until you started talking about those children. That's it. That's all. We already knew what Lila was on. We was reading him down. We was calling him all types of trash. He's filth. He's this. He's that. He's everything. You was never, the only thing we probably was calling you like, girl, stop being dumb. Stop being dumb. Wake up. Pay attention. Pay attention. But you were being dragged not for him, but for how you behaved. So then she goes to admit how he's a pathological liar, which we tried to tell her, right? Then they tried to tell her that. I felt like they was warning her, right? The same women who she got all this smoke for was trying to tell her that the man's a pathological liar, that the man be scamming women, that the man ain't got nowhere to live, that the man does father 3 children. So then we get into this 5-part story that, AD, sis, let's talk. Let's talk. You sat there and you called out Jessie Woo and Ricky and all the people and all the bloggers about how they're not journalists and this, that, and the other. And you didn't even take the time to do the research. Come on now. You didn't even take the time to do the research. It takes nothing to go on TikTok and watch the videos. It takes nothing to go on YouTube and watch the videos. It takes nothing to watch a review of an interview to get the cliff notes. So you mean to tell me that you sat up there and was going to talk about something that you have no idea or clue about, admitted, and then got the nerve to turn around and tell other people that they're not journalists? That is crazy work to me. That is crazy work to me. So of course, she knew what she was talking about. Okay. She said she believed the story he told her. So basically, Ashley breaks down the whole 5-part series that Bri did about the children and all the things y'all remember, right? But she said that even after that, she just stuck with the story that he told her. That, those were sperm babies. That's what they called. Okay? She said even after the reunion was filmed and everything was out, he was still lying. And his whole family was taking up for him. She was even asking the little niece questions like, trying to get a feel for something because she knew something was up, but everybody was lying around her. But I thought you knew everything, Ashley. Who know more? You or the internet? She said to this day, Lila is still saying that he has never slept with Bree. To this day. So AD takes a jab, but this is my thing. When you don't do your research, you look stupid. AD talks about how Bree didn't need a 5-part series to say she had sex. Well, maybe if you would have watched it, at least 1 part, you would know that it didn't take 5 parts for her to say that they had sex. There were a whole lot of other things in those conversations. A whole lot of other things in those conversations. Ashley says that, while she's describing the 5 parts, she explained how hurt she was finding out about the kids. No, okay. She explained how hurt she was that he was referencing. Okay, so Ashley was telling AD how it was more than sex. She was explaining about, the kids and the kids being sperm donors and how Bri was upset that, her kids were being referenced as sperm donor kids, okay? And that basically he ghosted them afterwards. So AD was like, so, okay, I just talked about that. Okay. So when Ashley was describing the videos, she said that, I mean, she knew all the details she needed to know and still was on a podcast defending that man. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I got mixed up. So after she explained everything in the daggone 5-part series that Bride put out to AD to get her caught up because AD didn't do no research, Ashley, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, now, Ashley, you explained all those videos down to the T, sis. Okay, you got the gist of it. You kind of understood what was going on. And you mean to tell me that even after that, you still went on these podcasts, you still went on these interviews defending this man, making yourself look stupid? She said she never got the truth. She had to go find it herself. You did not have to go find it yourself. The same stuff that you found is the same stuff that everyone out here on the daggone internet knew. If you would have put your pride aside and really listened to what Jessie and Ricky and Simone was telling you, this is my part. Let me take a second real quick. I'm not too big on exposing people, right? I feel like that's not my thing. Once it's out there, we gonna discuss it. I'm not really big on exposing. But my thing is, there's one thing to expose someone, and there's another thing to expose someone in protection of others, which I felt like that was the purpose of what Jessie, Simone, and Ricky were doing. Not only for Ashley, but also for other women who may come across this man, and also to put on the spotlight to Kinetic Productions about the people that they are choosing to put on these shows. There's a bigger picture. But if you took the time to actually watch some of it, if you took the time to really pay attention to what people were saying, then you would have learned that there was a bigger picture. Not just you, Ashley. I know somewhere in your mind you want to feel like the world revolves around you. Love is Blind revolved around you. Sis, no. You were just a piece in the bigger picture. In the same instance, she mentioned how she wanted to be careful with her words and how how she wanted to be careful with her words with Tyler. Okay, even though he deserves no grace from her, she has every weapon at her disposal to destroy him. But that's not her style. So why we here? At this point, time out, pause, bring it. Why we here then? Sis, if you want to tell your story, tell your story. When I was in my review saying I can't wait for the Surviving Tyler because I know she's going to come out with the Surviving Tyler, I was sitting here waiting for it. So you mean to tell me that you came into this and giving him grace? You giving him all types of grace. A man who lied to you, scammed you, and did all the things, okay? Pathological liar. Tricked you into marrying him. He gets the grace. But the people who were trying to warn you and look out for you. Okay. So she did apologize, y'all. She said that she's going to apologize to that woman as a woman for going against anything that she said that wasn't true. Keep it. Keep it. Keep your apology to yourself. If that is the apology, keep it to yourself. What do you mean I'm apologize for saying anything that went against what you said? No, apologize to that woman for calling her children sperm babies. Apologize to that woman for going on the internet basically calling her a liar. Let's be for real. If you want to apologize for what you did, not for what was true. Because when you sit there and you break it down, literally what she said was true. You know what I mean? Like, it was true. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand. If that's gonna be your apology, keep your apology, sis. We don't need it. We don't want it. I need y'all to make sure y'all liking the video. Please, please like the video. Like the video. If you are not subscribed to the channel and if it's your first time here, go ahead and hit that subscribe channel. We have a good, not subscribe channel. Hit that subscribe button. We have a good time over here, okay? You're going to love it here. I promise you, you will, okay? Drop me some yellow hearts if you are just watching and you don't want to comment anything. Drop me some yellow hearts and let me know that you are here. But let's keep going, okay? She still, yes, and she still refers to them kids as the child. She just, that's my thing. Like, if you want to do something right, do it right. Do it right. It takes nothing to admit that you were wrong. That's all you have to do is admit you were wrong. Okay. So she basically said that she searched his computer and she found all types of stuff. Not just the baby mama drama, but all types of stuff. I'm pretty sure you did. Because what was Ricky and what was Jessie Woo and what was Simone trying to tell you? They was trying to tell you that that man is a swindler. He's a Love is Blind swindler. He had multiple women that he would talk to. Multiple men. Y'all remember when they was putting out the stories about the women that he was texting when he was in the couch with her doing filming, when he was, sleeping on the couch doing filming? Remember she was saying how, he was taking people's money and he had open cases that he owed to? Y'all, come on now. I'm sitting here like, Ashley, stop trying to play us in our face like we are crazy. You were better off coming up here and just saying, thank you. I really appreciate the work that y'all did, Jessie, Simone, Ricky. Y'all really helped me see who I was married to. I really appreciate it. I know at the time I didn't understand what was going on. I knew at the time, I was in my feelings because that was my husband and I loved him and I wanted us to work. But now that everything is clear to me, I just want to say thank you, ladies, for having my back. Because ultimately, that's exactly what it was. Just trying to have your back. And potentially have the backs of future women, black women at that, who go on these shows. Who get cast with men like this. So she found all types of stuff. All types of stuff. Not just the baby mama drama, but all types of stuff that just confirmed everything. Okay? She said that it seems like everything that Bree said was pretty much true. They conceived the twins from having sex, basically, and that she found the birth certificate. And I'm sitting here like, I thought we been had the birth certificate, though. Time out. Didn't we have the birth certificate already? Like, didn't we already know that them kids had his last name? The one thing I do appreciate that AD did in this interview is the fact that she said that she wanted Ashley to stop protecting him and tell her truth in the most comfortablest way that she could. And I felt like that was AD trying to tell her, like, stop trying to say, stop it. Just say what you need to say and get it out there. And I really wish Ashley would have just did that, because while she's beating around the bush, it's making all this seem not genuine. Not genuine at all. So then they start talking about Tyler. And she talked about how she felt that Tyler wasn't ready for marriage, okay? She was trying to figure out how he slipped through the cracks. Now, she said that, he was different during filming. He was charismatic and everybody loved him, But, she realized that he lied about a lot of things. She said the first red flag was the first month of marriage. She said after filming, she realized that he lied about a lot of things. And that the first red flag was in the first month of marriage. Now, I need y'all to work with me. Follow me here. In the beginning of this interview, right? She talked about how the internet impacted her marriage immediately. They were living such a great life. Everything was good. Everything was great until the internet. That's what she said in the beginning of this mother effing video. Okay, she did say they had some, normal ups and downs. Okay, cool. But she said that the first red flag was in the first month of her marriage. So you mean to tell me that you was already married for a whole year, a whole entire year, and you were already looking at red flags, and you was already realized that this man was lying, and so that when a year later the show is premiered and Ricky, Simone, and Jessie is out there putting out all these receipts, you want to sit there and tell us that you know more than you know what's really going on. You know the man you married, this, that, and the other. When in the first month of marriage, you said that you realized that he was lying about stuff and you saw the first red flag. So you mean to tell me that you want me to believe that you didn't know what was going on? Because it's hard for me to believe that you listened and you believe this man who was lying to you since the first month of marriage. Correct? Put the math together, y'all. We got to add it up. 1, 1, 2. Correct? So this tells me that you already knew what man you was dealing with. You saw what was coming with this man in the first month of marriage. So why was it so hard for you to believe that he was lying to you about some children when he was lying to you about the little things? Lying to you about probably what his job was. Lying to you probably about where he lived. Lying to you about all types of stuff because you realized that he was saying, oh, things wasn't adding up. Remember she said? She said she realized that she was going to have to build a man. Within the first month of marriage, she realized that she was going to have to build a man and teach him how to be a leader. So you mean to tell me that by the time we got a year later into Love is Blind being filmed, and we sat there and tried to tell you about that man being a liar, being a scammer, you just could not believe it at all. You were sitting there like, there's no way, my man, when you had already had all these signs in the beginning before anybody said anything. You want the title, or you wanted to be able to profit off of your marriage? Which I feel like, hey, if you get married on TV, you should be able to profit off your marriage, right? I ain't mad at you, sis. Get your coin. Because if I go on TV, I expect to get, yes, give me the things. Give me all the things if I want to put myself out here. I'm not mad at you at all. But don't sit there and make it seem like it was the internet. It just didn't work out the way you expected it to work out. So therefore, you have to blame it on those children when that was never the freaking case. The problem has always been the man. And that has been consistent, not since the show came out, since you stopped filming within the first month of y'all being married. That was your problem. You realized that you was going to have to build a man and teach him how to be a leader. She said she settled for the little things because that's all he could do. Like make her coffee, just the bare minimum, So she had to make the bare minimum seem so extravagant because that's all that he had to offer at the time. So you mean to tell me when they was putting out them videos talking about how that man ain't really got no job and he been doing this and doing that and going here and doing this, you couldn't believe it? When you knew all this time that you was having to build up a man and he was giving you the bare minimum because that's all that he could give you? I'm gonna need y'all to make it make sense. I'm gonna really need y'all to make it make sense for me, please. Make it make sense for me, because it's one thing. See, I was feeling bad. So this is the thing, y'all. Let me tell y'all. Y'all know I'm emotional. Y'all know I'm always in my feelings. Y'all know I feel sad for people a lot. Y'all know that, right? So I was watching this the first time. The first time I watched this, I was feeling a little sad till we got to the end. And I was like, okay, now you're doing too much, right? I was going through the motions with Ashley because I felt like I know what it feels like to be, hurt by a man. I get it. We all been done for a man before. We get it. But then when I realized, because I was going to play the video for y'all and we was just going to talk about it. But Little Black Book said that, I guess Netflix or something, or whoever her podcast is, told him to take down the video or whatever. And I didn't want that issue. So what I decided to do was take my notes and go ahead and talk to y'all about it. So while I was taking my notes and I was watching this over, I was really listening to the things that she was saying. I mean, into detail. And I was sitting here like, stuff is not adding up. Pieces are not being pieced together. It's not, okay? So she said she stood by him at the reunion because she hadn't found the information for herself. She said the night before the reunion, she put her hands out to him and she asked him, am I sleeping with the enemy? And he said, no. Am I sleeping with the enemy? Because is there anything that I need to know? Please don't send me out to the wolves. And you know what he did? He said, there's nothing you need to know. He reassured her that, he reassured her. And then, she went out there boldly to stand up for her man. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Hey, T girl. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so she said that he had reassured her that, it was nothing he needed to tell her, and he still sent her out there to the wolves. And she came out there bold, loud, and wrong, all at the same time. And my thing is, if you knew that this man was lying to you since the first month of marriage, why would you still go out here and behave this way? And this is how I know that this was full of crap, because even after the reunion, you went on multiple podcasts and interviews and you continue to defend him. You continue to put down Bree, and you continue to talk about those kids as just sperm babies when you knew that that was half the problem that she had, which is why she came out to speak anyway. She said that if those videos would have came out before the reunion, she wouldn't have been so bold. She would have navigated it differently. That's a lie, because you still went out there, like we just said, and put out more videos and more interviews talking about them kids. You basically said F them kids. After the reunion, Ashley. So don't sit here and tell us, because let me just go back to it. Let me just go back to it real quick. Which one is it?
If these children decide that they want to have a relationship with their biological father, have you guys talked about what conversations or what you guys will do about that?
Yeah, so even during filming, I think I say something along the lines of like, I had to figure out when I chose to say, I'll give this another try, with Tyler, I had to also think about what happens if they do come. Right now, they're removed because you removed yourself. Mm-hmm. But what happens if they do turn 18 and there's no rules to this and they say, I am going to contact you, or even 16, 15, whatever. They have social media, they have iPads. These kids working better than us. So I'm like, what does that look like? I could not in good faith say yes to a marriage unless I was okay with that coming. And with them on why. You were supposed.
You still went up there and talked about the kids possibly having a relationship when he turns 18.
What do you think?
You went up there.
The bomb of him having children. I will say she wrote me on Instagram and apologized to me and Tyler and said she's praying for us and she never met.
You lied to the world. You lied to the world about how Bree apologized to you. Because y'all remember that was a lie. Remember Bree said that's a lie. She ain't apologized to me. I ain't apologized to her for what? For what? Tell you something. She gonna stop playing with me. Don't play on my intelligence. Don't play on our intelligence. She would have navigated it different. No, you didn't. Because even after all those daggone videos came out, and even after all those things came out, you sat up there and you talked about, oh, we're going to go back to the other clip. We're going to go back to how Tyler's just such a great
Tyler man. Is just someone who's just a genuinely good guy. He's a people pleaser. He is someone who, if he is exhausted and has nothing to pour into someone, he still will. He still will. And it's not a good thing, but it's just who he is. And so.
But I thought you said, let me go back up to my notes. She said that if the videos would have came out before the reunion, she wouldn't have been so bold. She would have navigated it differently. So when all the videos came out, you then decided to go on podcasts and interviews and do the same exact thing over and over and over, from channel to channel to podcast again and again. And then you want me to believe that you wouldn't have behaved the same way at the reunion? Okay, if you say so, Ashley, if you say so. She mentioned how it wasn't just the child thing. And she said, wait, let me not say that, because they love to crucify me for how I refer to the children. Let me not say that, because they love to crucify me for how I refer to the children. So this goes back to why you're being dragged. You're not being dragged on behalf of Lila. You're being dragged for how you refer to the children. So you do understand. You do get it. Oh, good for you. Good for you, girl. Because at one point I was like, she really thinks she getting dragged because of Tyler? No, she already said it. They love to crucify me for how I refer to the children. So I'm glad you do understand that that's why you're getting dragged. Yeah. 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 Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Time out. Pause. Wait a minute. 110 people, 112. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Hi. But we got 44 likes. So what y'all saying is y'all don't like the content. That's what I was getting from that. Like, I'm looking at it like, dang, 44 likes, y'all must not like the content. So, like, I'm kind of wasting my time. Because y'all please just go ahead and press the like button. Just press the like button for me. Okay? It's just, close the chat out real quick, press like, and come right back in. That's all I need from y'all. When y'all press the like button, it let the algorithm know that we are live and that you're actually enjoying the content. So maybe they will push out notifications and get people in here. So please go ahead and like the video. Please, okay? So she claimed that this is another claim that happened after the reunion, okay? She claimed that after the reunion, her discernment kicked in, because AD said, when did your discernment kick in? She said it kicked in after the reunion. A lie, because as you can see, she's doing all these interviews and all these podcasts, so I don't understand how the discernment kicked in right after the daggone reunion, okay? She said she had to do her research. She had to do some research. She was doing research on the research that was already out here. And in the process of doing the research on the research of all the things that was out here, she was also, on interviews defending him after the reunion. Child, she said that, she blindsided him with the divorce announcement. She blindsided him with the divorce announcement. He didn't know that she was going to put it out. She put it out to People magazine, right? So then she, after she said she put it out to People magazine, she went to Turks and she went and had a good time, and she ain't spoke to Lila since then, okay? They be going back and forth over the divorce stuff, and that at one point she was either going to Zelle him, Venmo, or Cash App him some money so that he could go ahead and get his stuff done, because she knows that man ain't got no money. This was never about them daggone kids. Ashley knew about them kids, knew he was the father of them kids. She didn't want to believe it. When she realized that she could not profit off of this relationship and that he actually brought nothing to the table, then she was like, you know what? I'm out of here. Peace. Bye. Gotta go. Right? AD asked her, was she nervous about announcing it? She said yes, because she knew it was going to be in the headlines, right? AD said, of course, people were preying on your downfall. And then she brought up a loud internet presence who almost seemed like she was waiting, sitting down, waiting. Okay, so AD said, Chloe Tyler cheated on Ash. One, remember his name. He in the closet said he was with Tyler that weekend, booked him a hotel because she put him out one brave. Watched a threesome. Tyler slept with two women. Wait a minute. Where y'all hear that at? You broke and homeless, no job, and you got the nerve to be cheating, having threesomes? Just disgraceful. Oh, Lord. Well, we already know that man ain't no good. We done dragged that man to the pits of hell, and he still keep rising up, and we trying to figure out why. So, child, y'all done distract me up. What are I talking about? Okay, so let's go back to AD. AD said, of course, people were preying on your downfall. She said AD brought up a loud internet presence, and she says, you know exactly who I'm talking about, right? So Ashley said yes, but Ashley started referring to them as they and not just she. So Ashley's talking about, Simone, Ricky, and Jessie. AD specifically was talking about Jessie Woo. And Jessie and AD feels threatened by Jessie Woo. Okay? Let's just call it what it is. AD is threatened by Jessie Woo. Like I said before, when I watched Jessie's video last night, and Jessie was talking about how, Ali sent her a message talking about, your boyfriend's so funny or something like that. And she was like, hold on, y'all. Okay. And she was, and Jessie was telling us how, Ali sent her a message talking about your boyfriend's so funny. And she was like, yeah, he's a terror. She don't like that. AD don't like that. She don't like the fact that, he went on her channel and did an interview with her and talked to her and kikied and laughed with her. She don't like that. Not only that, now that she's trying to have her podcast and Jessie has a podcast, yeah, she doesn't like her. So while, Jessie's over there living in her own world thinking like, what's the problem? She feels threatened by Jessie. In my opinion. Because why you sending that message to Jessie? Okay. Even though let me tell y'all, because y'all know we got a group chat, right? So I'm in a group chat and I'm like, I feel like, AD and what's her name may have been real until just now. AD and Ali may have been real until just now. Everybody like, girl, now AD and Ali ain't real. That's a public relationship. And I'm saying like, really? Oh. Guess I missed that. And then when Jessie and Ricky was talking about how he played AD over and over and over on a perfect match and then decided to just settle with her. Yeah, AD's intimidated. No, she wasn't. AD wasn't with Ali when they did the interview. But you know how you are with your mans. Right? When she probably was watching the interview like, he fine. Like the Love is Blind universe always collide, right? So I'm not saying that was one of the times that I'm not saying that at that time she was, feeling away. What I'm saying is that after getting with that man and realizing that he's still cool with her after the interview to the point where he could send her a message or whatever the case may be, it irritates her. She could not wait to bring up the loud internet personality. She couldn't wait. While Ashley is talking about they as a them, all of them together as a whole, AD made it very clear that she was talking about Jessie Woo. And my thing is, do not sub me. That is one thing I hate the most. Do not sub me. If you got something to say my name. What Beyonce say? You better say my name. Something feels strange. Okay? Say my name. Don't sub me and then be like, you know who I'm talking about? You are coming across, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me see what you said. You are coming across way too much anger. Let me make this a little bigger. You are coming across way too much anger. And what this woman went through in her truth. And it's hard for me to listen to you bashing. Bye. I didn't make a click on this video. What you talking about? And let me remind you, I'm a content creator. If I got up here and just was like, AD said, of course people were preying on her downfall. And then she brought up a loud internet presence on the internet. Nobody's going to want to watch that. So I have to be passionate about my work. But once again, I didn't make you click on the video. So, bye. That's weird behavior. Like crazy. That's wow. It's out of control. That is crazy work. And to announce it is even more crazy. Like, chow. Yes, I'm very passionate when I speak. Okay, very passionate. Okay, so let's go back. So it almost seemed like she was just waiting. So Ashley said, yeah, they were waiting on her. They were waiting for her to come at. Wait, they were waiting, coming at me more. She said that it felt like they was waiting for her, like basically saying that Jessie Woo was just sitting, waiting for something to happen, and that, you know, she was doing this under the guise of clickbait. It no longer felt like for the children, all those things, right? So I'm like, okay, when it comes to clickbait, in order for clickbait to be clickbait, it has to have nothing to do with the title or the thumbnail. Okay? If I put up a picture of Beyonce and say Beyonce will be on my channel today, and you click into the video and I got a picture of Beyonce saying that the Beyonce is on my channel today, that is what you call clickbait. If I put up Bry interview discussing Tyler's children who he calls sperm babies, and you click on the video and it's Bry up there discussing Tyler's children who they call sperm babies, that is not clickbait. It's not clickbait. It's exactly what it is. When I post a review for a show, I am reviewing the show. It's not clickbait. And nobody posts anything on the internet for nobody to watch it. Let's be real. No one's taking their time making videos, going live, doing research, putting stuff together for nobody to watch it. So best believe every time you see a LL, she actually threatened to unsubscribe. Like, okay, kick from. Okay. So best believe every time you see a video posted on any platform, it is for views. Whether it's for, whether it's for information, to teach someone something, to motivate someone, to drag someone, to review a show, to give commentary, to show someone how to cook. No matter what the video is about, it is for views. And the thing is, I don't know why that felt like that was supposed to do something. She said that she felt like they were doing a takedown. Ashley, no, this was not a takedown, sis. If they were trying to take down anybody, it was Lila and it was Kinetic. What's that man named Chris Colleen? That's who now Jessie might be trying to take him down. I ain't gonna hold you there. She might be trying to take him down. Definitely. But no one was trying to take you down because, listen, even after they found out that you were getting divorced.
Right? Come on. So they're like, oh, you.
Hold on, y'all.
Yeah, and I feel like there should be a heightened responsibility when it comes to something like marriage, right? Since that's supposed to be forever. And more than that, your lies induced someone into a expensive financial commitment. Yeah. So if I were Ashley's attorney, so we're going to get into the contract a little bit later. And what you'll see is they don't have to pay for her divorce. They don't have to give her ish. Yeah. But if I were her lawyer, I would use the fraud as the grounds to say, yeah, we know what the contract says. Like what you did was beyond the scope of the contract because the contract assumes that you are going to proceed with goodwill, with good intentions. And because y'all haven't done that, run us our money. Yeah.
So for her to be preying on your downfall and then go make a video after you say that you were separating to discuss with Simone, who also at the end of this video offered to give you free counsel for your divorce. Sit down to, go over some things because they felt like you were done wrong. They felt like you had injustice done to you. They felt like you were set up because they didn't do their job right. They sat there and discussed on how you can get out of this marriage and make it worth your time. But the only thing that you came up with was that they was trying to take you down. That's crazy. That's crazy. And see, the thing is, when people only listen to what they want to hear, they miss everything else. They completely miss everything else in the picture when you only listen to what you want to hear. So you felt like she was attacking you when no, she was talking about the producers and how the producers are picking these men for these shows to come up here and they're not doing proper background checks. They hooking them up with scammers. They hooking up with people who are being, who have bad credit, who can't get an apartment, who have no jobs. This was bigger than just Lila and Ashley. This was about, as a whole, how they represent Black women and how they choose Black men for these women. That's what this really was about. So I feel like when you want to speak your truth, speak all your truth. Take accountability. Don't lie. Don't protect. Don't blame. There's no need for all of that. She said it's so sad because she feels like her image was tainted for a man, not because of her, but for a man. And I'm like, Ashley, you the one that was up there talking bad about them kids. You was the one calling them kids sperm babies and all. You were the one being mean. You were the one saying some of y'all never been married and it never shows. You were the one, you were the one putting yourself in these situations. You was the one up there who know more about it than the internet, who know more of me or the internet. You were the one being loud and bold. You were the one doing all of that. It's not about a takedown. It's not even about her specifically. That's what Jessie was saying. It's about Black women in kinetic all. Big picture. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what I mean. Sometimes we just look at things as, and the thing is, like, it's so, like, she really expresses that through all her videos. All her videos. But that's the thing. When you only hear what you want to hear, you only hear what you want to hear. Just like the first time I watched this video, I was like, oh, I feel bad. That's crazy, Ashley. Because I know that it was hard for you to deal with that. I know how it feels to be lied to be made a fool of. I understood that. But as I started writing these notes down and I started putting what you were saying together versus what you were doing, it wasn't adding up. And I'm not going to sit here and just be nice to you because you're a woman. Accountability goes both ways. Child. She was in her, he's mine, and I'm gonna stick beside him more. And that's fine too. And that's my thing. Listen, if you want to stick beside him, do that. Say that with your chest. You ain't gotta blame it on nobody. You ain't gotta tell everybody that they lying. You ain't gotta tell people that they not journalists. You ain't gotta call out people. You ain't gotta do all of that. You can stick by your man, girl, if you want to stick by your man. But don't come out here and say the internet pushed you to go trauma bond with him. When you said out your own mouth that you started seeing red flags from the first month that y'all started dating. And you realized that he was lying about this and lying about that and lying about this since the first month y'all started dating. Stand on it. Let me tell you something. If my husband did something or whatever, if I'm going to stand with him, I'm going to stand with him. Period. I ain't going to blame nobody else. It ain't nobody else's fault. You wanted to be there, Ashley. Just say it. I wanted to be there. Child. So yeah, they went on and on about the internet, and how she stood by a deadbeat and did. And did. And she gonna have to work on forgiveness for herself. It is what it is. Child. Listen. Hey Chloe, I just saw you alive, but I'm gonna rewind and watch from the beginning. Okay, rewind and watch from the beginning. So all I want to say is I wish you the best, Ashley. I really wish that like you would have just been a little bit more accountable. I really wish you would have apologized to Bri and those children properly, because the way that you set up there and basically dismissed everything that she was saying, just to come back and confirm that everything that she was saying was true, but then just apologize for some of it. It was very indirect. And I feel like if you could be disrespectful out loud, you need to be a grown woman and apologize out loud, okay? It takes nothing to just apologize for what you were wrong for. Ashley is trying to save face, but it's not working. She knew what she said. The videos were on the internet street. Exactly. But my thing is, at this point, right? At this point, if Ashley would have just came out and been like, y'all, what I said earlier, y'all was right. Y'all was right. I was wrong. I was just trying to stick by my man because I wanted my man. But y'all was right. Everything y'all said was the truth. I had to learn the hard way, but I learned it. Okay? And this is my Surviving Tyler series. And we would have been like, that's right, Ashley, go girl. But then you sat up there and you gaslit us through this whole thing. Didn't even properly apologize to that woman or them children. Didn't even properly apologize to that woman or them children. That's crazy. So it is what it is. And then on top of that, turned really nasty towards the end of the interview. It turned really nasty towards the end of the video. They got really loud. It was a whole lot of kikiing. The whole interview was so calm until we started talking about the internet personalities. That's all I got, y'all. What y'all got going on? What y'all got going on? That was the interview. I do feel like, Ashley should have came a little bit better. If that's her story, that's her story. She's sticking to it. But I'm telling you, there's some loopholes and some lies in that story. Unfortunately, people have to learn to gaslight instead of admitting fault. Right. Just admit it. Girl, all that stuff was true. Just wanted to say great live. Thank you. Appreciate it. I hope you guys go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe if you are not subscribed. Okay. She's talking about other people can't talk because they have not been married. The male sentiment. And that's the thing, right? I feel like it's crazy. When she said that she tried to explain it as if she was already married and people were expecting her to just get up and leave her marriage. And if you've been married, then you know that it's not that easy to just get up and leave your marriage. Plus, she never wanted to get divorced. I'm not mad at that, if that's what you really meant by it. But I don't think that's what you meant by it. I'm not mad at that. I honestly feel like there are some situations you can't speak to until you're in them, right? That's like saying, if somebody cheats on me, I'm leaving. If I've never been cheated on, I don't know if I will actually leave, right? I just have that in my head, like, yeah, I'm leaving. So, like, the thing is, if you've never been married and that was what she really meant by it, cool, understandable. But I don't feel like that's what it was. It was definitely a jab at women who aren't married. That's what that was. It was a jab at women who aren't married. It was to make herself feel better about having a man and being someone's wife. Mind you, the same man and husband that she had to teach how to be a man and how to be a leader and build him up. crazy. It's crazy. She was never a veteran. Ashley was about the married life. Listen, I just feel like there's certain things that with the right intention make sense, but when the intentions are not right, they're definitely wrong. It's just like saying you don't know how it feels to be a mother until you're a mother. You don't know how it feels to be a mother until you're a mother. You can imagine you may have raised some siblings, but you really don't know how it feels until you're a mother. But when you say it to maybe try to make it sound like I'm a mother, and you not a mother, so you would never know, it's the intention behind it. The intention wasn't what she said it was. Well, I don't feel like that was the intention. So there's that. But let me make sure my leave out because I don't want to be part of the unblendables. And I don't want to be part of Oh, we got another Chloe in the chat. Hate that I'm late, but I'll definitely be watching the replay. Thank you. And first of all, let me go back because I didn't bash anyone. I did not bash Ashley. I simply read what Ashley said and I gave my commentary and I actually took what she said and put it back to what she said. I used her own words against her, but somehow I bashed her. That's crazy. That is crazy. What y'all think? Interesting. That's so interesting. That is wow. Agree. In general, people don't relate to most situations until it personally impacts them. Exactly. So it just pretty much depends on what her intention was when she said it. Don't let that wig run Karen in her fourth DUI. This the leave out. That's why I said I gotta make sure. Let me tell you something. When Jessie said, when she called AD Miss Leave Out, I said, oh my God. That's crazy. That is crazy. When she called them collectively the unblendables, I said, oh no, baby. Oh no. See, that is what you call, bashing a little bit. I ain't do none of that. I ain't do none of that, okay? If Ashley had been humbled on this interview, that probably would have turned the tide against her. It would have. Because we all, as women who, like all the women in chat, as women, we know, especially older women, right? I'm about to be 36. We know what it feels like to go through heartbreak. We know how it feels to get played by a man. We know how it feels to want something so bad and they continue to treat you horribly and you keep sticking around hoping that they would change and things would get better. We're not crazy. We understand all of that. We feel those feelings. But my thing is you can't come gaslight us and make it seem like we're the problem when you said in this whole interview that he was a problem from the very beginning. That's the thing. That is the thing. If you're wrong, just be wrong. I don't know what to tell you. She said she did the research for herself, but the research was already done for her. The research was done for her. She said she did the research while he was sleeping on the couch. Meaning meaning that before she actually found out that he had children. Because if you put it together, she said he was sleeping on the couch. I went through his computer. She was sleeping on the couch because she had to give him 30 days. Meaning that they were already about to break up before she actually got the facts about them babies and what was on that computer. Right? Ain't that what that mean? That mean that he was already sleeping on the couch. Before she got all the facts, according to her, she said that he was on the couch and she went and got the computer. So that means that this wasn't the real issue. But y'all don't want to hear me though when I keep saying that it's really not about them kids. It's never been about them kids. Ashley said F them kids a long time ago. She was fine with that man not talking to them kids. But hey, let me not say no more. I don't want to be bashing nobody with their own words or whatever. But anyway, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. That's all I got for y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, do all the things. And I'm going to go for a walk. Y'all go ahead and get y'all steps in. The summer is here. The summer is here, okay? And with all that being said, part of me thinks she's trying to get on another show. That might be probably why she did the interview. She did mention that she'd be willing to do it again. So she could this couldn't have hurt that bad. Ashley is lying. Tyler, see. Oh wait, before I go, y'all know that Tyler said that he's willing to go on any podcast, big or small, to put out his side of the story. And I'm saying here like, Tyler, what could you possibly say? What could you possibly say? Child, we already know all your dirt. He just wants to come and make Ashley look bad. That's all. But he ain't even have to do that because Ashley already made herself look bad. But anyway, let me get up out here. I'll talk to you guys later. Make sure you like, subscribe, drop me some yellow hearts. Let me know that you was here. Summer bodies are made in the winter. Baby, you got to work on these bodies all year around, okay? All year round. You got to start and you keep going and 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 go. Child, I'm tired of going. I ain't even gonna lie to y'all, I'm tired of going. I'm like 23 pounds down and I'm tired of going. But I gotta go. I gotta get some of these steps in, okay? Well, anyway, I'm gonna talk to you guys later. Peace.